So I was thinking on a ride back to the house this morning on some things as I prep for this vendor event that I'm going to be participating in a couple of days, and just thinking of some material that I'm putting together, working on, and getting some kinks out of it. But in that, I was just thinking that I hadn't really shared this via video at this time, but that's something that I do share with clients typically when I'm speaking with them one on one, because I really want to help them to understand the body a little at a deeper level. This is an understanding you will not get from the medical community. They don't talk about this. I don't think they even want to talk about this. I don't think they really have the depth of training in this area. When you're talking about the water system of the body, they're going to understand it from a certain aspect, and they're going to give it different names, right? Interstitial fluid, exostitial fluid, lymphatic fluid, the blood plasma, because that's even made of water. But if you really just even with all those various names, it's all typically the water system of the body. It's the fluids that your body is composed of. And so back in did a kind of like a presentation, I guess you would say, back in 2022. No, maybe 21. It was 2021. We were home from COVID, but I did it for a church. And as a part of that example, I used this fish tank example. And in using the fish tank example, basically, I was using that to help people understand that we can get backed up, and that the water system of the body is almost like it can become dirty. And with using that fish tank, you want to keep everything flowing and filtered in the body. And if you keep that water system flowing and filtered, oxygen can be delivered everywhere that it needs to go into the body. And you can obtain, you can really be in a homeostasis, basically. Let's use that language. Homeostasis, have the proper balance in the body. All nutrients are getting delivered to the areas where they need to go, and all waste is being removed as it should. But as we know, and as we continue to live on a day-to-day basis, there are things that get hung up in the body, or areas where there's inflammation that's developed. So that's stagnant water there. There's area where scar tissue develops. In those areas, that's stagnant water there. There's something blocking it. There's something not flowing. Let's take the sinuses for instance. If you're dealing with sinus issues, there's stagnation there. The congestion is there in those areas of the body. So when I'm working on a person utilizing the lymphatic frequency detox process, we're opening all of those areas up. We're helping to minimize and remove those areas of inflammation. We're helping to remove that excess mucus and stuff that's built up there. We're helping to break down scar tissue that's built up in the body. Areas where there's pain, there's a lot of congestion and stagnation in those areas. So that's really what I'm ultimately doing at the core of the body, is helping you to restore the proper flow of the water system in the body. And for those that are also familiar with fascia, that's also helping to hydrate the fascia in the body, because wherever that fascia is getting really, really tight, and you have a lot of stiffness in the body, it's not hydrated there, meaning the water is also not flowing in those particular areas. So if you can open that up and cause that to flow, it's going to work for you. I had a client not too long ago, and I'm making this video longer than I should, but I had a client not too long ago, and I've worked with this client on multiple occasions, and I opened up their area. I opened up an area of the body that I guess was very stagnant. And the next day they was like, oh my God, my sinuses. I think I dealt with the sinus infection after I left you, blah, 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 this and other. I said, that's very possible. I said, because we opened up an area of the body that needed to be opened up. It's going to be, I said, so we have to continue with this process, because we're helping to restore that flow. You will be in great health if you can restore that water system of the body. But understand, this is specific techniques that people can be very specialized in. But this is not an area that the medical community does. So you have to start working on the holistic side to get to where you want to be health wise. So talk to you soon.